everyone, welcome back to Liz Sews. Today I have for you guys my 2019 Make 9 list. Now I participated in the Make 9 challenge last year as well, and I actually did pretty good. I think I completed all of the projects except for one, so I got 8 out of the 9 complete. So I'm pretty happy about that. When it came to choosing what I wanted to do this year, I was a little bit hesitant whether or not I wanted to participate. As you guys know, I sort of hit a little bit of a sewing burnout, and I'm really trying to take a step back and not feel pressured to make things. I started sewing as a hobby because I wanted something that was a stress relief and something that would take my mind off of what was at that time a very bad work situation. So I was a little bit concerned that my sewing was turning into more of a chore. I felt like I was constantly trying to meet deadlines, whether that be sponsored posts that I was writing for other people, or just even stuff that I had promised you guys. Like if I had said I was gonna make 20 things, I felt like I had to make 20 things. So that was one of the reasons why I took a little bit of a step back from sewing. And so when I was looking at my Make 9 for this year, I didn't want to put that pressure on myself. But at the same time, I think the Make 9 is useful because if there's ever a time where I'm just not sure what I want to do, I go back to that list and I pull something off of it because there was a reason I wanted to make it. And I think a lot of times as sewists, we go around and we're always, the newest thing catches our eye, or the newest pattern or the newest piece of fabric, and we always have to have it. And it's a very consumerism sort of mindset to have. Even though we're doing slow fashion and making our own clothing, there's a lot of consumerism in the sewing world just because you constantly want that new pattern, the new fabric, something new like that, instead of really appreciating the stash and the stuff that you have amassed in the past. And so I'm really viewing my Make 9 this year as an opportunity to use things that I already have and to just realize that I bought these things for a reason and that they need to be used instead of going and getting something new. So I have sort of a mixture. I have 6 patterns and 3 fabrics that I want to use on my Make 9. So the first pattern I want to use again is the ginger jeans. I had this last year. I made a pair of ginger jeans. I'm really happy with the fit. So I counted it as complete, but I didn't use my cone mill denim. So I have very expensive cone mill S-jean denim that I want to use to make my ginger jeans pattern now that I'm absolutely sure that I have the fit down. So that's item number 1. The next thing, or 2 things that I want to make, are actually, I want to do more selfless sewing. So I want to sew more for my partner, Tony. So I have 2 patterns that he's actually picked out and that I want to make for him this year. And the first one is this Mimi G 8427. This is just a slim cut men's shirt. I have made shirts for him in the past using another Simplicity pattern, but those shirts are quite large and billowy, and this one is a little bit more slim fit, which is what he prefers to wear. All of his suits are slim fit, so I'm excited to give this one a try, even though it's a BBG pattern and I've not had the best luck with them. I know Claire of Penguin and Pear has used this pattern and she said it was pretty good. I want to say there was some issue with the collar, but I'm sure I can figure that out. So this is the first menswear pattern, and then the second one again is also a Mimi G pattern. She has really good streetwear, menswear type apparel patterns, and that is 8613. So this is just a classic sort of men's, not necessarily fitted shirt. I like the Raglan sleeves. He likes the button option, sort of the Henley option, so I'll probably make that for him. I'm not sure what fabrics I want to do this in. I'm thinking sort of like a waffle knit. I don't think he's too into having this like 3 different color blocks, but I think he would definitely like to have something like this where the sleeves are a different color, or even just a plain colored shirt like View B. So those are my 2 menswear patterns. I also started thinking a lot about what clothes do I wear. So I've sewn a lot of dresses and fancy things like that and coats in the past, and I love making them, but they just sit in my closet unused. And so that isn't really helping that whole consumerism aspect of it. If I'm gonna make something, I want it to be something that I get a lot of wear out of. So I, again, picked two sort of more casual items to make this year. The first one is Simpliciry 8268, and these are just jogger bottoms. I'm not sure that these will be particularly flattering on me, but I did try a pair of joggers on at H&M, and I kind of liked how they looked. And I think it'll just be something that is really comfortable to wear at a house and something I'll pull out frequently. So right now I am on the hunt for a really soft looped terry or something to make these out of. The other thing that kind of scares me about these though is the ribbing along the ankles and the waist. I'm not sure where to get that ribbing. I know Alex of Gingerhead & Co. absolutely loves ribbing and she uses it in everything. So I'm kind of jealous that she has access to such great sewing materials, but I will find some ribbing hopefully. And again, this is not a concrete plan yet, so I don't have fabric picked out. I don't really know what colors I should do. I actually really like this drawing over here with like the pink and gray. I think pink and gray is a really nice color combination, or maybe a sagey green, something like that. I don't know. So jogger bottoms. And then the other sort of casual thing I picked out again is another Mimi G, and this is 8702 from Simpliciry. I really want to make this. Is it a bomber jacket? I don't know what it's calling it. Just says knit jacket, but it's color blocked, and I actually really like the color blocking she's chosen on this photograph. The coral, aqua, and the navy. I think that's a really cool combination. So far, again, I haven't found ribbing for this, and then I'm not sure where I'm going to pick up the fabric. I looked at fabric.com, and they have a lot of really nice ponte knits in these bright colors, but they require you to buy 2 yards of each. And I don't need anywhere close to 2 yards to do, you know, like just that small color blocking. So I'll probably have to buy the fabric locally just because I won't be able to get the small quantity that I need. Looks like of the colors, yeah, I need 3/4 of a yard of the different colors. So probably won't buy the fabric online. I'll try to get it in the store, but I really like that casual zipper jacket look, so excited to try that one out. And then the last pattern that I have, 1 2 3 4 5, yeah, 1 2, so I said 6 patterns, so this is the last pattern that I have. This is sort of a placeholder for me right now, but this is a dress pattern, and I really like, it's Simplicity 8289, and this is Leah Marshall. She was on Project Runway, not the first season, a couple seasons in, but fairly in the beginning of Project Runway. But she has a very light, feminine, ethereal sort of aesthetic, which I really like. So I would probably be making view C here, which is this drawing, a little T-length dress with lace cap sleeves, and I think just really clean, simple design. And the reason I want to make this, like I said, it's a placeholder, so it could change, but this is going to be a dress that I wear to a wedding that we have coming up soon. So right now I'm leaning towards this pattern just because I really like it. It's been in my stash a while. I've never sewn it up, and I want to make sure that I sew all the patterns that I have. But I'm saying that this spot in my Make 9 grid is up for any dress that I make for the wedding. So it doesn't necessarily have to be this pattern, but a dress for the wedding. So now I'm going to move on to the fabric that I want to sew this year. So the first one is, this came from Spoonflower, and my mom had it printed for me. This was an idea that I had found online, and I was gonna make it for my cousin's wedding several years ago. Oh gosh, it's almost like 5 years ago. And then I never got around to it, and my mom did it, and then she had extras printed off and just sent them to me as well. She figured that I could figure it out myself. So the idea is to make tea towels out of old 3x5 recipe cards. So these are actually recipe cards that were in my grandma's collection. My grandma died several years ago, but it's really cool because it's in her handwriting and it's very, very sentimental. Like, I definitely remember her handwriting looking like this. And I also love the way that they're just dirty. Like, some of these cards are, you can see the age on them. You can see that they've been used and well loved. So I think it's a really cool idea. So I have 4 of them on this fabric, and I believe she got this printed in a cotton canvas, it feels like. I'm pretty sure it's cotton. It's definitely washable because they're meant to be tea towels. But I have four different cards, and each one is a different recipe, and I want to turn those into tea towels instead of letting them sit in my sewing room for the rest of their life. The next one is some wool that I purchased off of eBay. I actually got this in 2018, so it hasn't been relishing too long. But the project that I have purchased this for, I was too scared to cut into the fabric, and so I made it in a different fabric instead. And I really liked how those pants turned out, but I don't feel like I need multiples of them in my wardrobe. So I don't know what I'm gonna make with this, but I don't want to be scared to use fabric. I bought it to be used, and if it just sits here, it's not doing anyone any good. So I really want to use this fabric. It is sort of a taupey slate gray with a navy stripe on it, little window pane stripes, not stripes, window pane plaid on it. It's 100% wool, and it has the most luxurious drape to it, so it really falls very beautifully. Very thin. I don't think it's necessarily too warm. So I don't know if you guys can tell from that, but so very thin, but still drapes really, really beautifully. So I don't know that it necessarily makes sense to do a suit, and I don't know that I would wear a suit anywhere, but if you guys have any ideas of what I should do with this fabric, I want to say 3 yards, and it's 60 inches wide. So let me know if you guys have any thoughts that come to mind. And then the last piece of fabric, which is really a project that I want to get done this year, is using this sort of cranberry sateen, cotton sateen that I picked up from Joann. Now it's coming up on the viewfinder for me a little bit more red than it is in person. It definitely has some bluer undertones, some deep raspberry, oxbloody colors. So I bought this with the intention of making a self-drafted pair of cigarette pants, and I still want to do that. I got to the first draft of my pants and I just kind of gave up. So I really want to stick with that project and finish it off this year, because I think it would be nice to have, like, you know, just slim fitting, very like Audrey Hepburn pair of pants. And if this one works out, I also have this coral one right here, which is like a stretched denim, which I think would also look really cool in that sort of pant configuration. So that is everything that I'm going to put on my Make 9 2019 list. Three fabrics, 2 menswear, 2 activewear, a fancy dress, and jeans. So I think that that gives me a wide variety of things that I want to work on, and I think they're for the most part achievable goals, so I won't feel too pressured by them. So I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing sort of a glimpse into what I'm going to be making in this year. Till next time, take care.